Some of the most unexplored places on the planet are mountains. This is due to the overgrown wildlife, impossible to pass terrain, and the overwhelming obstacles they hold. The Untersberg Mountains can be found between Germany and Salzburg. However, this region also goes by another name, the Untersberg Portals. This place is said to be the home of many mysterious entities, and what's strange is a large number of people who have visited the mountains have encountered something they couldn't explain. Strange beasts have been encountered here, and it's even thought that a lost civilization may call this place home. Many who have ventured close to the mountain have said they feel a dark presence, and that something comes over them and makes them not want to return. The supernatural presence here is common, and even non-believers have had encounters they struggle to explain. One strange story involves that of a dwarf-like creature. These creatures are said to befriend people on the mountain. They look similar to humans and try to get you to follow them back to where they live. However, it becomes apparent that these creatures do not have good intentions. They lead you away from paths and try to get you into tough situations. It's thought they're similar to the duende. This is a fairy or goblin-like mythological creature from Latin America or Filipino folklore. In Hispanic folklore of Mexico in the American Southwest, these are similar to gnome-like creatures who live inside the walls of homes. People who have also ventured to the mountain are said to never return again, which is one of the reasons it gets the name Untersberg Portals. Hikers have reportedly lost many hours while hiking here, and when they try to remember what happened they can't. In some cases, people have said they somehow travelled many miles away within the span of just a few minutes. On top of this, there has been many UFO reports in the area. Some have even speculated this area is some type of wormhole. Theorists claim the reason people lose track of time is because they've been abducted. Small orb-shaped UFOs have been seen here, and some hikers have even said that bright lights have followed them. One person described a bright purple orb that flew towards her face. It kept doing this until she left the area. Giant triangle UFOs have been spotted above the area, and those who've seen them have said they look unnatural. They just sit in the sky and make no noise. Another entity that's commonly seen here is black shadow figures. These black masses are said to have the shape of a human but move like a liquid. They're able to appear out of nowhere and are thought to be paranormal in nature. Black birds are also said to live within these mountains, and that if you happen to see one you'll be cursed. Another interesting claim about the mountain is that there's a large cave system running underneath it. This has sparked all kinds of theories about mythical creatures using these tunnel systems to move around, and most importantly not to be spotted. But as of today, this is just a legend. Perhaps the strangest thing experienced on the mountain is the disappearance of time and even people. Hikers who have a lot of experience become easily lost, and wake up not knowing what happened. One person described heading to the mountain as it's a place they've never been before. However, not long after being there, they said they felt as if something was off. They couldn't explain what it was, but they said they just didn't feel right. After being on the mountain for around an hour, they passed out. What's odd is that this person was someone who had a lot of experience with hiking, and didn't head to the mountain unprepared. It turns out the man lost a total of 2 hours. The strangest thing though is that he said it only felt like a second, like he blinked and then woke up. Others have come forward with similar stories and have suggested it's a place unlike anything they've experienced before. It's strange when these situations happen to experienced hikers, as these people are usually experts when it comes to handling harsh climates and terrain. Stories are still being reported today about this mysterious location, and one thing that people have picked up on is that each person's story is eerily similar. As of today, those who explore this region have said it's one of the strangest places on the planet. Another mysterious mountainous area is that of the Himalayas. For years now, people who live and have visited the regions have talked about encountering giant hairy men. These stories have been around for hundreds of years, and even today people are still seeing these mythical beings. It was not until the early 1950s that nationwide headlines began running the story of the mysterious and elusive Yeti creature. Cryptozoologists would later go on to compare the unending amount of Sasquatch sightings made all throughout the United States to the mysterious Yeti. Back in 1951, a group of daring hikers were grabbing the attention of media worldwide. This was because they were attempting to climb Mount Everest. The men put in hours of training and were sure they would succeed in their mission. The group came well prepared with the equipment necessary for their expedition to be seen as a success. But most importantly, to prove the validity of their climb, they brought along a state-of-the-art camera, and this was to take high-quality photographs once they reached the mountain peak. In a twist of events, the headlines that ran all across the country after the group had finished their ascent was not that of their incredible trek to the top of the world's tallest mountain, but rather that of their incredible high-quality images they had snapped of what appears to be an anatomically correct footprint of a strange humanoid-like creature. These strange-looking footprints were originally found by Michael Ward and were later pointed out to fellow members of the hiking group. Eric Shipton quickly took high-quality photographs of the prints, while placing down his ice pick next to it to help show the length and width of the incredible find. Many skeptics had argued the authenticity of the footprint, but research analysis had found anatomically correct details so perfect that it would have been near impossible to fake. The footprint showed the big toe of the creature appeared to be at the perfect size and volume one would see in a creature of a massive size needed for adequate balance, and the depth of certain areas of the footprint showed a correct distribution of weight the hikers would never been able to accurately reproduce. Today, the photograph is seen as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence of the Yeti creature, and even helps to shed light into its weight, size and evolution. Shortly after the popularity of the images, the Daily Mail worked to gather their own evidence and making cutting-edge reports on finding the creature themselves. After only 3 years since the photographs were taken by Eric Shipton, the Daily Mail sent out an expedition team on the 19th of March in 1954. This was to go out to the same area the hikers had discovered the compelling evidence of the creature, and begin their research into uncovering the truth of the creation. The research team found strange evidence of the native Nepal population having symbolic paintings of the Yeti, as well as many stories of the locals claiming they have seen the creature on their hikes. It's been said these locals have been encountering these creatures for years, and they talk about them as if they're just local wildlife. What's strange about this though is that it seems many countries have their own version of this hairy creature. Australia has the Yowie, which is described as being a tall bipedal humanoid which stands around 7 to 12 feet tall. America has the famous Bigfoot. India has the Monkey Man of New Delhi, which is described as being a mix between a man and a monkey, being completely hairy and standing between 5 and 7 feet tall. The orang pendek is said to live in Indonesia, and is again described as being a large hairy humanoid that's been encountered by the locals. One theory that's been put forward by some is that what people are actually seeing is a surviving group of apes known as Gigantopithecus. Gigantopithecus was the largest ape that ever walked on our planet. Scientists who have studied this giant beast think it weighed up to half a ton. Researchers have been frustrated though, as they haven't been able to find much information about this creature. Excavations have only revealed a few fossilized teeth and jaws. Paleontologists have long wondered how this giant ape moved around. Given its massive size, it would have needed an extremely muscular body, along with a strong frame. However, after reconstructions, researchers put forward the idea that Gigantopithecus put a lot of weight on its arms. However, there are those that think it could have been bipedal. Another mystery surrounding this creature is when did it live? It's thought that the biggest populations would have lived around 2 million years ago, with the last of their kind going extinct around 200,000 years ago. As large as this creature was, it was herbivorous. Researchers who have studied the teeth state that their diet would have consisted of fruits, nuts and bamboo. What's incredible is how strong these giants would have been. It's estimated that an average gorilla is approximately 4 to 9 times stronger than an average human. Gorillas have been seen in the wild tearing down thick trees with hardly any effort. Researchers have suggested that going by its current estimated size, Gigantopithecus could have been anywhere from 12 to 30 times stronger than a human, with some researchers saying it could have been 50 times stronger than a modern human. It's common knowledge that this creature has long been extinct, but there are those that think it could still be living in remote parts of the world. So what do you think of these mysterious mountain ranges from across the world? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.